Hey everyone, today I'm going to be showing you how to get 5G antenna cables through a window in the most effective way. So this is going to be a temporary no-drill solution. So obviously the best way to get 5G antenna cables in a house is going to be to drill through a wall. And you know, these SMA cables are pretty good for just pulling through an actual wall if you want to drill through it. But I don't want to do that. I want to do it without drilling because this is a temporary solution and I want to leave no marks because I'm going to mount the 5G antenna in a different place in the future. So I'm going to be introducing a solution otherwise known as the ghost cable. So an extremely thin cable. I'm just going to demonstrate how this works. So just going to show you what my home internet looks like at the moment. Everything's connected up through this Deco 50-5G. And this is basically a router and a mesh network as well. And it's connected up via these two external antenna cables. So these can work without external lines, but it actually works a lot better if you can actually connect them up. And I've connected them up to this antenna, the K5GPB14V3. And this is actually being fed through my window externally. And you know, I don't want to actually drill a hole through the wall for various reasons, mostly because this is going to be a temporary solution. So, and the kind of issue that you're going to face is the fact that there is substantial amount of draft. So even though I put like this weather stripping here, and even though I put the weather stripping on here, if you actually look at the cabling, this is being marked by the sash window here. And there is, even though we have this weather strip added on here, there's still a draft that comes through. So we're going to be replacing these cables with these kind of ghost flat cables, which are designed to work through these walls and windows. And we're going to put these flat shut over this today. So I've got my flat antenna cables here. So what I'm going to do is basically unplug these two cables here. And then we're going to feed them into the Ghost SMA cable. And I'm going to attach this one here. So I'm going to leave a link in the description for these kind of flat cables. So they're designed to be shut through a window. And see, now I've got this pair sorted out here. These are nice and flat. So easy to shut through a window. So now that I've got the cabling pulled through, I'm just going to push this out. So these are quite long 10-meter cables that I've got here, the SMA cables. But I'm just going to demonstrate by pushing these out of my sash window. So I just have the ghost cables plugged in. So let's put these here. And then we have just the cables going through the sash. So now I'm just going to demonstrate how this works. I've pushed all the cabling out so that we just have the two ghost cables here. And I did have a gap here for weather stripping, but I just want to demonstrate that these two cables can basically lie flat over the weather stripping, and I'll pull down the sash. And now that's basically completely shut. So there's virtually no draft coming through the bottom bit, especially with these weather strips, which I'll also leave a link to in the description. And these two cables can now be plugged into my router. However, you might find that this is not very long. These cables are kind of expensive and they only go about 25 centimeters or something like that, 30 centimeters. So we're going to use these extension cables, which I'll also leave a link to in the description so I can plug them into my router. So these just extend this cabling. So I'm just going to plug in this end into the cabling here. I'll just twist these in like so. We're going to do them on both ends. So that's one extension. And then this is the next one. And now that my two extensions are done, I'm going to plug in the other side into the external antenna slots on both of these. So it doesn't really matter which one it is as long as they're both plugged in. And now that should work fine. So it's red at the moment, but now it's gone white. It's detected our external antenna connection. And here you can see the cabling here. I've even got my wooden shutter and I can nearly close that in completely. So that's kind of wedged in there and that's working fine. This is on the left side instead, near my shutter hinge. And now that cabling's in the corner, I know most of you are not going to have wooden shutters, but let me just push this in fully. That's nicely wedged under there. so here we can see that the connection is working nicely here, so it's all white light. So before I did an internet test speed, it was giving me 200 down and 34 up. Let's just do another test. So now it's doing the upload speed. And now you can see that the download speed of 254 is actually faster than what I tested yesterday, but you know, it's just variability because of the 5G connection, and we've got 22 megabytes up. So it varies quite a lot between 20 and 30, even 40 megabits, but I'm sure that if I test this at a different time of day, in different weather conditions with the 5G network, then this is going to be similar speed as before. So pretty much exactly the same as before. This X50 5G is pretty good with this connection and extension and cabling with the Ghost Wires too. So here if I check the app, I can see that I've basically got full signal bars for my Vodafone 5G. So I'm actually using Voxy Unlimited in order to get decent connection. I've actually used nearly half a terabyte of data since I set this up. And yeah, we're getting pretty much full bars there, which is really good, even though we are using this extension lead and we have the window fully closed, even with the shutters closed too. Anyway, I hope you found this video interesting. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.